Good morning, beloveds. We are here on Monday, March 24th, 2025. We are reading from the Essene Book of Days, and the seasonal focus says, buds unfold to early flowers, and we have daffodils and crocuses, beautiful purple and yellow flowers all over the yard. The morning focus is the angel of life. Opening, meditate while touching a living plant, tree, bush, or pet. Exchange love with this being. And here's the meditation. My life is guided onward toward the light. All about me are the signs of growth, the signs of new life bursting from containment. I too feel this primal urge to cast off limitations and open my petals to the sun. I no longer must wait. I share my life with those I love. Today I will bring the spirit of freedom to my meditation practice. I have a whole beautiful program that I do with friends. We practice for about an hour and a half through physical movements, balancing movements, and meditation. So I'm very excited about that today. And my feelings are contentment. I feel really content today, and that feels delightful. Okay, so within Magdalene's book, we are up to lesson 83, which is a review of lessons 65 and 66. So I'm just going to read those out loud. Lesson 65 says, my only function is the one God gave me. And lesson 66 is, my happiness and my function are one. And here's Magdalene's channeled message. Greetings, beloveds. Our only function indeed is the one that was given to us, bequeathed to us, granted as a gift to us upon our creation. Our function, beloveds, is to love as God loves. And when we forget to do so, we are to choose love through the act of forgiving. Forgiveness is indeed your function as the light, for the energy that is expended within you when you forgive causes a joining to occur between yourself and what you perceive as any person, place, or thing, any object being outside of you. In that forgiveness, you grant as before. And what existed prior to the forgiveness was love, a deep sense of connecting and abiding, indwelling as God does. For each of us are a representation, if you will, of what it is that God is. We have manifested many things through our minds, relationships and circumstances, places where we have felt joy, places where we have felt sorrow, relationships that have indeed tested us to always remember that only love is real, circumstances that have led us to believe that this is a hard and cruel world in which we live. But all of this, beloveds, is indeed a dream. While it may be difficult to understand that one is living a dream when it appears to be so very real, when you see yourself to see through the facade, to see through the illusions, to see through the very fabric of the dream itself, you come to recognize, as you do in these moments of deep meditation, that indeed this is the point of consciousness that has been manufactured by the egoic mind. Do indeed understand, beloved ones, that the mind has an extraordinary component that every thought manifests. We have indeed mentioned the cookie analogy, where the mind is much like cookie dough, and each thought that you think leaves an impression. Understand, beloveds, that the words that you speak, the thoughts that you think, the actions that you take, do indeed have consequences. So when you think a loving thought, there is a consequence to that thought. And when you think a negative thought, there is indeed a consequence to that negative thought as well. So if you begin to continue to do this training of your minds, using these lessons, recognizing that your only function is the one that God gave you, you might pause for a moment and say, indeed, what is that function? And you will allow yourself to come to see that your function, beloveds, is to love as God loves, to think with the mind of God, to will forth into creation and into existence that which God would will for you. If you do not know what it is that God would have you bring forth. All you need do is ask, beloved ones. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? This is indeed an ultimate surrendering to the will of God. But being in alignment with that will, you allow yourself to remember what you have forgotten, which is indeed that your only function is to love. When you love another, when you allow your heart to connect deeply to another, you find that your minds and your souls and your bodies are in alignment. There is a warmth that approaches all aspects of your skin. In this way, you are in love. In this way, you are able to project those feelings onto another. Beloveds, it is now time for you to feel that same sense of self-love. For to God, you are his beloveds, her beloveds. There is no gender when it comes to the very presence of the Creator. There is a deep and abiding love, a profound sense of humility, a sense of knowing, a sense of understanding, a sense of being loved and adored. For you are an extension of the Creator of Source itself. There are no biases. There are no grievances. There are no fears. There is only love. So allow yourself, beloved ones, to come to this consciousness. Allow yourself to rise up, to approach different dimensions and different aspects of self, and come to see that you have been, indeed, playing in the mud. Allow yourself to rise like the lotus from the mud, to become truly the purity that God created you in, that he loves you in, that she knows you in. Do not allow gender to become a blockage, for it is not. There is only one truth, and your function is to serve that truth. Beloved one, be the light and be the love that you truly are. We send our blessings always. Please do call upon us so that we may be of assistance to you on your soul journey. Blessings to you always, beloved ones. So gorgeous. I am constantly blown away by her genius, by her words. I just find them so gorgeous. So let me bring her forth. I'm very excited. I'm going to make my transition into the beloved beings. Beloveds, in order for the Creator to have an experience of oneself, it needed to allow a forgetting to occur. It would be much like playing a game of checkers or of chess. And if you are playing both sides of the board and you know what the other move is and you know what the other player intends, the game becomes quite dull. But if you allow yourself to say, I will put a shroud of forgetfulness over this other aspect of self, I will allow myself to not remember that I am indeed this other being, then the game is afoot, is it not? So, beloveds, we ask you to allow yourself to release the shroud of forgiveness, to allow yourself to come back into recognition that you and any being that you experience are deeply, deeply connected through the very essence of love itself. Love is what connects all beings, for love is the very fabric of the universe that has devised and divined and created our very existence. It took an act of love to create anything in the universe. Think of it, beloveds. What has become a solution within your life, whether it is an automobile or a table or a chair or a pen or even a glass, so that you may drink liquids, how it is that you cook, how it is that you speak to one another, whether it is through a phone or a smoke signal, whether it is through a telephone, an iPhone, an Android. Look at all the possibilities, beloved. Each of these objects were created with love. Each of these were a being looking for a solution, for people to be in communication with one another. And as has been stated before, love is a function of communication. Each being looks and says, how can I make life easier? Someone wishes to exercise within their home, but they want to walk. Let us create a treadmill. It was done with love. Everything that you have done, bringing forth children, is an act of love. Everything that has been created, beloveds, has been an act of love. For you use your minds in conjunction with your hearts to love. And this is the way of creation, beloveds. Now, you may think that there have been atrocities that have been done, but somewhere underneath all of that, beloveds, there is indeed an act of love that is looking to express itself. So look within your own existence, beloved, and try to decide where it is that you are committing acts of love, for that is all that you are doing. The ways in which you connect with another, the ways in which you connect with yourself. Could you apply more love to yourself today, beloved ones? Could you reach within and forgive yourself for the places where you have not always provided yourself with love? Can you look at the closest relationships you have, and maybe even some farther away from you, seemingly, and see if you can apply love to them as well? Know that you are deeply loved by us, and we are here to guide you, beloved. Begin to ask yourself, look upon a creation and say, here is a pen. How is this created to be an act of love? And have gratitude and appreciation for the pen. What about a hairbrush? What about an automobile? What about a light? Edison was quite diligent in bringing that forth, was he not? Not to mention all that our beloved Nikola Tesla did. There are so many other grand inventions, beloveds. Everything was done as an act of love. If you could look upon the universe and say, somewhere there is a seed of love within this particular circumstance or object or situation or being, look for the love, beloveds, and you will be astounded. We love you. We are with you always. Oh, thank you all so much. I love you, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.